Steve Jobs once said, "The only way to do great work is to love what you do." Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Believe you can and you're halfway there." Aisha Tyler once said, "Success is not the absence of failure, it's the persistence through failure." Zig Ziglar once said, "Success is not a destination, it's a journey." John D. Rockefeller once said, "Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great." Winston Churchill once said, "Success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm." Nelson Mandela once said, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." Confucius once said, "It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop." Michelle Obama once said, "Success is not about how much money you make, it's about the difference you make in people's lives." Steve Jobs once said, "If you really look closely, most overnight successes took a long time." Franklin D. Roosevelt once said, "The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today." Henry Ford once said, "Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal." Mark Zuckerberg once said, "The biggest risk is not taking any risk." In a world that's changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. Winston Churchill once said, "Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm." Aristotle Onassis once said, "The secret of success in business is to know something nobody else knows." Horace and Sweat Martin once said, "Success is not measured by what you accomplish, but by the opposition you have encountered and the courage with which you have maintained the struggle against overwhelming odds." Vidal Sassoon once said, "The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary." Winston Churchill once said, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Conrad Hilton once said, "Success seems to be connected with action. Successful people keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit." Thomas Edison once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Wayne Gretzky once said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." Albert Schweitzer once said, "Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success."